Hello and welcome to this online demo of the Empower Content Enablement solution. If you're watching this video, you probably create documents regularly using Microsoft Office and want to reuse existing content. You might be frustrated by the constant search for the right information in your company's various storage locations, like network drives, Sharepoint, or Microsoft Team channels. This data chaos often stems from having multiple versions of documents scattered across different locations. Keeping all this content up to date and organized would be incredibly time-consuming and expensive. So most companies simply don't do it. As a result, content remains outdated and cluttering storage locations keep creating more chaos. Let's imagine a common scenario. You need to create an important PowerPoint presentation for a business partner using accurate and secure information. You vaguely recall creating similar presentations in the past, but after searching, you can't find them. You ask your colleagues for help, but they also come up empty-handed. You and your team have wasted valuable time without any progress. Typically, this leads to hastily assembling the slides with incomplete information because you're running out of time. You don't have all the facts and figures memorized, so you have to scramble to gather the correct information, further delaying the process. This is especially stressful if you're not an expert on the topic. Finally, after rebuilding the content, you finish the presentation hoping your business partner understands the delay. But even if you do manage to find something, there's no guarantee that it's up to date. Saying "I found it" doesn't mean the product prices, contract details, or technical data are still accurate. We often feel relieved to have saved time, only to realize the content isn't reliable. Even if you are an expert, producing quality work means verifying the information found in those slides with reliable sources. This process is often time-consuming, especially in a corporate environment. It's a paradox. Whether we find content or not, we still need to verify it. Document chaos and relying on potentially outdated content should both be avoided. In the end, users often end up reinventing the wheel, either reconstructing missing content or updating old content with new information. Both scenarios waste significant time for the user and their colleagues until they finally have a result with verified information. The solution to this challenge is ensuring users can always find current content directly. The goal is to eliminate wasted time searching for documents or information and then removing outdated material. This is precisely what Empower Content Enablement achieves. We provide a library that serves as a single source of truth, accessible directly from within Microsoft Office applications like PowerPoint, Word, and Excel. First, users can access the library directly from their workflow, ensuring they always have the most up-to-date content at their fingertips. Naturally, users prefer current content that is conveniently located within their workflow over outdated content found elsewhere. Second, a Google-like search feature allows for quick navigation through extensive data repositories, enabling users to find the desired content instantly. This aligns with our daily habits of using simple search mechanisms that deliver reliable results. Finally, the solution employs various mechanisms to keep the data up to date, definitively eliminating outdated content and preventing document chaos. Let's take a closer look at the solution. Here's the starting point: a library prominently displayed in the PowerPoint ribbon, accessible to all users. It's so intuitive that every user can understand it immediately. If you've used the Windows Explorer interface, you'll be familiar with the basic principles. The folder structure on the left contains folders and subfolders, while the content is organized thematically by department, language, or other criteria. Clicking on a folder displays its contents in the middle window. Here you see the PowerPoint slides. Unlike storing them on a network drive or SharePoint, the library clearly indicates whether it's an entire presentation or just an individual slide. Presentations are marked with this icon. Another advantage compared to the files on a drive or SharePoint is the ability to preview individual slides within the presentation. You no longer need to open the entire file in a new tab or download it just to see what's inside. Individual slides are marked with this icon, so there's no confusion between presentations and slides. Users always know whether they're navigating within a presentation or browsing individual slides. If the text on the slides is too small to read, you can use the preview feature to enlarge it, with multiple zoom levels available up to full screen. Now you can decide whether to open the entire presentation for direct use or perhaps enrich it with additional content. If you choose to open it, the presentation opens in a new PowerPoint instance. More commonly, you might only want to use a few slides from a presentation. A double click on a slide adds it to your current presentation, ready for immediate use. The same functionality is available in Microsoft Word. The library here contains Word documents instead of presentations and slides. It could be a template that the software automatically fills with the correct data, or content you can open and use directly. In Microsoft Excel, you'll also find the Content Enablement library, containing the necessary Excel data such as management overviews, reporting basics, and more. Here too, you can open and use the required content with a double click. For those wondering if all files need to be stored in the library or if they can come from SharePoint Online or Microsoft Teams, the answer is yes. Many companies already have repositories on these platforms, but they are often difficult to navigate, leading to the situations described earlier. Users require easy access to this content. Here's my connected SharePoint, accessible through the library. I can easily preview the slides here, which isn't possible in SharePoint, to see the content and decide if I want to use individual slides. This makes searching for content much easier when you're unsure where to find it. We believe searching for Microsoft Office documents should be as easy as using Google. That's why we've implemented a powerful Google-like full-text search, which we'll explore together now. Let's go back to PowerPoint. Individual slides are often reused, so PowerPoint files make up the majority of data in such a library. Imagine you want to find a reference slide in German, but don't know its exact location or the folder it's in. Simply click into the search input field, enter your search term, and press enter. The results will appear in the center of the library window. How does this work? When you save files in Empower, PowerPoint doesn't just save the file. It creates an index of all the content on each slide as individual objects. This includes every word, the notes and the comments, the file name, metadata, and more. You can search using any of these criteria to find the slide you need. The most common scenario is searching for a word you believe is on the slide because you usually have a rough idea of its content. This allows you to find suitable content quickly and easily. Can you do the same with SharePoint or on a network drive search function? No, you can't. Try it for yourself and see if you can find a single slide within a presentation using their search functions. On network drives, searches take a long time and result in a list of files, not slides. You then have to open each file and manually check for the slide you want. Even if you find it, the search results disappear and you have to start over if you haven't found what you needed. With Empower, you can filter your search to specifically look for slides, eliminating the display of presentations in the results. This streamlines the process and ensures you're searching at the right level. But that's not all. In this example, we want to create a German presentation, so we need to filter out the English content. You don't even need to manually select the language of a document when saving it. Empower Content Enablement automatically detects the language and assigns a corresponding flag, so you can easily see the language of each document or presentation in the filter list. Now you have a choice. Either the desired document is right in front of you, and you insert it into your presentation, or you're unsure which one is right. In that case, you have several options. You can zoom in again to double check, or you can sort the document by creation date to quickly find the newest one. Once you've found the right content, simply add it to your existing document and you're done. The same applies to Word and Excel. For example, in Word, imagine you're a salesperson looking to create a polished proposal. No problem. Simply search for the proposal template, find the required document, and double-click to open it directly. You can also access the library through a browser, where all PowerPoint, Word, and Excel files are available. You can search and access everything just like in the desktop applications to quickly find the files you need. The Office mobile apps also allow you to open and edit files on a tablet, just like any other presentation, Word document, or Excel spreadsheet. As you've seen, Content Enablement allows you to quickly and easily make Office files available to all users or enhance them so that anyone can effortlessly find files they need. But if the fundamental problem isn't solved, this solution won't be of much use. So how do you ensure users can rely on the search results? Let's examine the entire process to fully understand it. Imagine you're implementing the software. After receiving it from us, you first determine which content is stored in Empower itself and which isn't, as most of our customers do. The library isn't meant to store all files. Many companies have already chosen Teams or Sharepoint Online as their strategic storage locations, which is perfectly fine. The library doesn't need to store all files to maintain data integrity. We'll discuss how this works later. However, it should directly store the building blocks that users repeatedly use to create new documents. For example, in PowerPoint, this could include templates for price slides, reference slides, business cases, generic product presentations, and other company-specific content. In Word, it could be letter templates, contract templates, proposal templates, manuals, or technical documents. In Excel, it might include classic reporting templates or tables used by many people or departments. These files are stored in the library to ensure that the latest versions are always available, providing users with access to the most up-to-date content when creating new documents. Saving files in the library is simple. Open a document, such as a company presentation, Word proposal, or any other file, then click on Save As via the Library Split button, and choose the appropriate storage location, just like Windows. The files are uploaded to the library and become available to everyone. Imagine these files have been in the library for a few weeks or months, being used by various users. Now it's time for an update because employee numbers or needs have changed. In this situation, several problems usually arise. How many versions of the facts and figures slide exist in the system? Where are they located? How can we ensure that all versions are updated, including those not under our control? Some might be stored on personal computers or inaccessible locations. How do we notify everyone about these updates and prevent them from using outdated versions? Let's handle this professionally and let the software do its job. Let's navigate to the slides location in the library. You'll see a red symbol here, indicating that this is the original slide. This original slide can have linked copies within the Empower library, and these linked copies automatically reflect any changes made to the original. Right-clicking on the original slide allows us to check when it was last updated. There's a version history that tracks all previous versions of the slide, showing you who made changes and when. If I want a visual comparison of old and new versions, the software provides that too. With highlighting, I can see exactly what's new in the current version compared to the previous ones. Now that we've identified the versions we have and the changes made, we naturally want to know how many variants or linked copies of this slide exist in the Empower library. We can check this by looking at the Update Connections. Here, you can see the original slide, its linked copies, their location, and whether they are on the same level. With one click, all outdated versions can be synced with the original, ensuring that all content in the library is accurate and up to date. This provides full transparency and maximum efficiency, so users can trust that the library content is always current. So how do we prevent outdated content from spreading across storage locations like Drives, Teams, or SharePoint? When you open a document with outdated content originally from the Empower library, you'll receive an update notification. This message tells you that the document's content is outdated compared to the original in the Empower library. Each document from the library gets an ID, allowing Empower to recognize it, such as a slide. The software then checks if the slide's modification date in PowerPoint is older than the library's version. If the library's version is newer, the PowerPoint slides are outdated and need updating. In the update notification, the new version from the library is offered. Users can compare the old and new versions, just like with version history, to see all the changes before deciding whether to accept the update. Sometimes, users might not want to accept an update, such as when old documents contain charts that they do not want to change. However, generally, users will appreciate clicking OK to automatically replace old slides with new versions from the library, staying up to date within seconds and continuing their work seamlessly. Updates also apply to Word documents. When opening an outdated Word document, you'll receive an update notification informing you of the changes. Upon acceptance, the new content is automatically incorporated into the document. This ensures that important documents, such as contracts or offers, are always up to date and can be used confidently. As you can see, there's no longer a need to check if you're using the latest version of a document. Updates happen automatically, ensuring data integrity at all times. How many complex documents does your company create daily, and how many are flawed and regularly shared externally? Using outdated documents doesn't help a company increase revenues, enhance its image, or build trust with business partners. This challenge can be solved by enabling users to create professional, complex documents quickly and easily. Users should never have to choose between document quality and their own efficiency. We achieve this by automating the document creation process for Office documents like PowerPoint presentations and Word documents. Users simply fill out a form in a form wizard, which operates similarly to an installation wizard when installing software on a PC. This wizard is individually configured for each document, guiding users through all options and contingencies when creating complex documents. Let's open the library and look at a presentation template that's automated. For this video, we have chosen to create a classic company presentation which everyone can easily relate to. If we were to click on the presentation, the automation would start directly with the wizard. But we'll hold off on that for a moment to explain the structure of an automated template for better understanding. Let's start by right-clicking on this presentation and look at the so-called automation template. Here, you'll see many slides, and at first glance, it may seem like a typical PowerPoint presentation. On the first slide, there's a placeholder for an event. Company presentations are usually given for specific occasions, such as events in front of an audience. In the automation wizard, which we'll look at in a moment, you'll have the opportunity to enter an event name into a designated text field, and this text will appear in the placeholder. The following slides contain classic content for such a presentation, including numbers and facts, location, references, and more. In the wizard, we can choose between a short and long version of the company presentation, incorporating these elements. The long version includes a mission statement, company history, and market data. We can select which of these additional contents to include. If we scroll further, you'll see that all slides are also available in German, allowing us to choose between an English or German presentation in the wizard. Now that we have an overview, let's close this and start the automated presentation creation with a double click. The wizard opens and we can make the necessary inputs or selections. First, we choose to create an English presentation and enter the title, for example, Event XYZ. We opt for the long version of the presentation and include the history and market data and omit the mission statement. This way, you can see that the mission statement is indeed not included in the final presentation. We proceed to the next steps, and the process completes. As you can see, the presentation is ready in English with all the necessary content except for the mission statement, which we excluded. Let's take a brief pause here. Do you remember the challenges we discussed at the beginning of this video when creating complex documents? Those challenges are no longer there. No more tedious searching for the right template as the software applies it automatically. No more searching for content blocks in various locations, as all the necessary content blocks are already in the template. No more checking and updating outdated content, as the template content is always current. No guesswork about the content order, as the software inserts it in the correct order. No searching for fields to enter mandatory information. These fields are clearly visible in the wizard with brief instructions. The wizard can also be configured to prevent document creation unless all mandatory fields are filled out, ensuring that all users enter the required information. Additionally, there's no formatting work because all content is automatically formatted in the correct template. How easy is it to customize or configure this automation process? It should be simple enough for you to do it yourself, so you aren't constantly dependent on a technical colleague or us as the provider. Let's look at how to adjust settings in the form using the wizard that users fill out when creating a document. It's actually very easy. You simply click on the Automation Designer, then on the Wizard Designer button. Here, you can see how easy it is to add a new question to the existing wizard. You click on Add a New Question and get various options, such as adding a yes or no question, a text field, or a single or multiple choice question. Let's say we want to add a text field. You determine the name of the question, enter the question itself, and specify whether the question is mandatory. This means the question must be answered for the document to be generated. Once you're done, close the Wizard Designer, and from that point on, all users will create the document according to the new configuration. That's it for PowerPoint. Let's move to Microsoft Word, where there are countless use cases for automation. For this video, we'll look at a classic case, contract drafting. We open a template from the library and the wizard starts, allowing users to determine what should be included in the contract. For us, as a software provider, this would include software solutions. If the customer wants to order a solution from us, it's important to select the appropriate solutions. A classic example for us is with the software brand control, where the corporate design or branding of the customer must be integrated. Otherwise, the software wouldn't reflect the brand and fulfill its purpose. This specific component, like a setup package for brand control, would be selected under specific settings. These are dependencies you can define. If a user selects a specific software solution, then related content, like setup package, should automatically be included in the document. This ensures that all necessary components are integrated seamlessly. In the contract, we also need to specify the number of licenses the customer company wants and the associated costs. We enter that information here. To conclude, we need the entire contract form specifying the customer's usage of the software. That's it. Users simply click the button at the end and the software takes care of the rest automatically. Our document is now ready to use without hesitation, with all necessary information included in the current design and up to date. Here, you can also see the setup package for brand control as discussed earlier. Then comes the pricing table, where we just enter the numbers. And finally, the contract document with the usual regulations. In summary, in this video, you've seen how users can always find current content seamlessly, eliminating the need to search for or update outdated content. You've also seen how to ensure the data integrity of the Office documents using the software. If you want to know how implementation works in your company, feel free to contact us. Share your challenges with us, and we'll develop a concept for implementation. This way, you can quickly provide a reliable source of truth for your Microsoft Office content with Empower, allowing your users to create documents that your business partners can truly rely on. We look forward to talking to you. Have a great day.